viewers. Welcome to Economy Today on TVRC. My name is Kolawole Itunoluwa. Joining me on set is Mr. Akintunde Somi Vincent. He's a lead analyst on TVRC. He's an educationist, a presenter, an author, and also an economist. We are going to be discussing on a topic that says Nigerian economy in big trouble. Nigerian economy in big trouble. As we all know, the Nigerian economy has continued to struggle to keep its title African largest economy with its low standard of living, scarcity in crude oil, an increase in prices of transportation, and increase in foodstuff. It is no longer a news that Nigeria is a blessed country, we all know that, but yes, we still face a lot of issues like unemployment, sufferings around, youth loitering around, increase in crime rates. What will be the cause of this, and what is the likely solution? We're going to be welcoming my guest one more time, Mr. Akintunde. You're welcome on set.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
Fine.
Okay, now let's start with this question. What is the current state of Nigerian economy now?
Is, in my opinion, good to be in the studio this morning. But the current economic situation of Nigeria is nothing to write home about, because at the moment we need to face the reality. Let's just put ourselves in the shoe of the common man. How much is the bag of cement? Those who are building houses, and how much is the foods and services? How much you could say the kind of inflation that they are experiencing on a daily basis. And if you are to go to the complex, sorry, I beg your pardon. Let's take a look at our the kind of human development, the policies here and there made by the government. Have they been able to salvage the economic situation? Go to our universities. It's going to shock. Let me use a popular saying. It's going to shock you. When you see that where we have civil engineering, civil engineering department, and we have architectural department under whatsoever faculty of engineering. We see potholes in our universities, and look at the number of our unemployed graduates.
Yes.
Here and everywhere you see per street. You could count like 3, 4, 5, 6 graduates walking about with their folders and pies, waiting for them to get secure one employment or the other. And again, look at the volatility of the market. The market, if you don't have any like before, people used to move around the market, loiter around. But this time, if you don't have anything doing in the market, you have no business in the market. Because even the common, what can you buy with 20 naira today? Nigeria today?
Nothing.
With your 50 naira, you could only get perhaps maybe 1 or 2 sachets of water.
Sure, that's it.
So look at the unemployment rate. Look at the political will as regards diversification. Are the government ready to diversify? So before I really dig in deep into the economic situation of this country, I think we are currently in a very serious economic crisis. Look, and again, to just cap it off, look at the number of naira per the naira to dollar.
Yes.
It's over 710 plus or thereabout. So what are we saying? It's a terrible situation. So it's in a kind of, we are in a state of economic quagmire at the moment.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Akintunde. So the next question is, do you still think Nigeria is a struggling country?
Oh, well, of course we are struggling. The point is, and it all boils down to corruption and the lack of political will from the part of the government. If you pretend to love a lady, it's going to show in the very long run. It's going to be like it's going to be a smoke that will definitely fizzle out in the long run. So you can't just pretend to be in charge of this country when you know that you are just there to take the milk and honey that is in the little milk that is supposed to go around the country, but that's what you are hiring for yourself, for your wife, and your family. And that's why you keep saying, look at the case in the court, that of the Accountant General of the Federation. Recently we heard about how his issues were raised in the law court, where it was being arraigned for a humongous amount of money that could even survey the situation of 10 states in this country. And look at, just imagine those whose names are not in the mainstream media, those that are doing it underground. Let me also cite another example. The man who was considered to be the super cop recently was arraigned by the NDLEA and the likes Go and look at the kind of mansion we're told that he's maybe impacting on, or that he has built in his hometown. I mean, how can you look at the magnanimity, look at the massiveness? So these are the people. I'm only citing an instances. Then dig deep into digging deep into the House of Assembly and the House of Senate and what's it called, the executive arms of the government. So in my opinion, I think corruption is part of what makes this country, instead of flying, crawling, and instead of being among the Committee of Nations, we are still very much. I don't know this giants of Africa have been paying. We need to stop deceiving ourselves. We have what it takes to become giants.
Yes.
But the point is, some people have just chose to, hold us to ransom, and that's why we are where we are today.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Akintunde. We said something earlier that we have what it takes to be giants, and we believe that Nigeria is a blessed country. Nigeria is a blessed country. But sir, why do you think Nigeria is still undeveloped?
Well, like I said, I talked about political will. Nigeria is undeveloped because of our level of exposure. When you look at the way the average white man would think, it's quite different from the way the average black man would think. Some believe that some believe in posterity, that at the end of the day, that posterity will judge every one of us. So therefore, we need to put our names in gold. How many average black man is thinking like that? Average black man will think about his stomach. We think about how will people see me in the next 5 years. That every black man will want to, I want everybody to see me as we want everybody to come and feed under his maybe feet or on his table, and will be the one directed, throwing the shots and power. So average black man is power drunk. And how do you test this? It is when you put them in power, put them at the end of affair. Look, pick a guy from the family and rub him with, not everybody anyway. I'm only saying they are not in their, but give them the military uniform.
Yes.
And see how they will behave. You will think that, is it more than this uniform? There's the power. You will see the way they will carry themselves and the way they will amass. They will think that whole. So what I'm saying in essence is, why we are still in this mess is because of this political will. If our government are willing and they are ready to turn this country around, they can do it. And that the paradigm shift, like I said, is the political will.
Yeah, sure.
And like I was talking about, the other time. I mean, what was the question again you raised?
I think I said, why is Nigeria not developed?
Why we are not developed is, I want to get the question again so that I will establish my basis. So why we not developed is, when you look at those who are doing well in the Committee of Nations, they put so many things. It's sacrifice. They've been able to sacrifice a lot to get to where they are today. And look at countries like those in the European countries. Look at those in the Americans. I mean, the American country. Pick them as a continent. So they've been able to, put themselves in the situation, not the situation of I will be there. When I'm there for a few years, I will pack whatever I want to pack and leave you to your problem. That's not the situation in such a continent or such countries. They put themselves in the heart of the people, and they are able to change they are able to turn their situation around.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Akintunde Vincent. Before we draw the curtain for the program for today, I would like to ask you one more question. And the question is, how can Nigerian economy be improved? I want you to, say something on education aspect, say something on politics, say something on transportation.
Before we even delve on education, security, and transportation, it is important for us to look at the security.
Okay.
No economy will survive in an insecure environment.
Okay.
When there is war in the land, and you think the investors will not even want to come and risk, they won't want to risk their life.
Yeah.
So, and when you talk about education, I talked about it at the very beginning. I said when you look at the way we are producing, I talked about it under human development.
That's true.
So when you look at the way, and that's why they are very adamant. They are saying no. this revitalization fund must be released to the universities, because they were making some instances that back in the days that you see white men and women in our universities teaching, but how many of them do we have? You could barely even see one or two, except maybe in the leading universities like the Premier, like the University of Ibadan, and little from the University of Benin, maybe one or two, scanty. So the point is, education. The government must be serious.
Sure.
Any fund that you think any fund that needs to be released it to these people. Let them turn the situation around.
To the
And you talked about, I think you talked about education and bushiri. Another one is
education politics.
Politics. Say politics. The leadership must lead by example.
Sure.
Despite the fact that we have people are crying that there's no money, are the senators crying that they don't have money?
No.
The House of Rep, are they crying the way others are crying?
No.
Those at the level of executive, those are the cabinet member, the ministers, are they weeping the way people are lamenting?
No.
You don't have light in your street, you don't have light in the neighborhood. Go to Abuja, go to the senatorial quarters. Do you think they're expressing the same thing? No. What we discipline ourselves in this country? So leadership by example, that should be very paramount, quintessential, and very germane at the level of I mean, when we talk about leadership. And again, you talked about which area you talked about again, and the nature of our market.
Sure.
We need economic experts to come to be the architects of how our market is being run. Look at, we have so many institutions. We have the NNPC
Sure.
that are in charge of the petroleum sectors. Put those who are expert in that field. Don't just put a farmer
Sure.
to come and handle the petroleum crisis. Don't put farmer to come and handle the banking sector.
Sure.
Don't put a barrister to come and handle the educational sector.
Sure.
Don't put educationists to go and handle the law, to handle the what's it called, the judicial hub. It's not done anywhere. Let those who are qualified, those who knows the nitty-gritty of that job, should be allowed to be at the helms of affairs. And not until we do that, we will keep struggling, we keep lamenting like that of the lamentation of Jeremiah.
Okay. All right, thank you so much, Mr. Akintunde. Viewers at home, I believe you enjoy the program. I believe you enjoy what you're talking about today. But finally, can you give a piece, like an advice to individual at home?
Well, like I said, I mean, when I was trying, I forgot this, but let me quickly ship it in that during the June 12th, the president said something that his plan under poverty alleviation, his plan is to take Nigeria out of poverty, and millions of Nigerians out of poverty. You know, we have about 200 million now.
Sure, yeah.
That we have farmers, we have the artisans, we have those who are doing petty traders, and it's going to move them out of poverty. But so far so good, that hasn't been the case. And again, like I said, I will never stop saying that the box of this crisis lies on the table of the government. There must be a political will. Look at those who are not the NLC. They are also agitating for salary increment because of this level of inflation. And if something like that is being cooked up, very soon, that strike is looming. Strikes is also coming, and not after they've been on strike for too long. If NLC join, do you know how many people that are, do you know how many auspices? I mean, how many working, how many subsets of workers that are under the NLC? The moment they pronounce that strike, then everybody, what do you think happened to the country? The country definitely be grounded. There won't be any kind apart from NLC, look at the farmers. Their farm, they could not, some of them they can't even go to their farm again. Look at the panic that people are taking their children out of Abuja now. They are saying, no, I mean, you cannot be there, you cannot be in that state anymore because the security is not secure. I mean, the country is not, the security is not guaranteed anymore because terrorists from neighborhoods, from Zamfara, from part of Kogi, from Kaduna, they fall infected. I mean, their attention is not on Abuja, and so nobody wants to be a victim of any circumstance. People are saying, get out of Abuja, and that's a panic. That's part of the panic that we saw yesterday. So there must be a political will from the people of the government. They must be willing to turn the situation around, create an enabling environment for our graduates. It requires creativity to run politics. If you are not creative, if you think it's all about, you just want to be there and let people do whatever they like, the country will definitely be in a mess. So the best time to do anything, the best time to turn the situation around is now. And I just hope that there will be a kind of a political will and those those who understand the nitty-gritty of what it takes to run a country will emerge at the end of our fair come 2023.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Vincent. We've come to the end of the program for today. Viewers at home, I believe you enjoyed the program. I still remain your presenter, Kolawole Itunoluwa. See you next time. Bye.